Legionaries. They began as an elite, but they ended as a threat. What once stood for discipline, honor, and order turned into an institution of corruption. The Praetorians had intervened too often. Too many emperors supported or destroyed. They were no longer guardians. They became players on the board of power. Over time, many used their position to enrich themselves. Bribery became routine, influence for sale. Proximity to the imperial court brought gold and greed, and with it came idleness. Less drill, less duty, more politics. But then came Septimius Severus. After the chaos year of 193, after the throne was bought by Didius Julianus, Severus marched on Rome with his legions, and he called the Praetorians to account. He stripped them of their arms before the gathered people. They laid down their armor, lowered their standards, and abandoned their camp, mocked by the crowd. Severus built a new guard from hardened legionaries, stronger, loyal, but the stain remained. In the decades that followed, the Praetorians became a dull instrument, not powerless but predictable. Their myth faded, their terror dissolved. Yet their end did not come with an order. It came with a war. In the year 312, Constantine faced Maxentius. 2 men, 2 empires. The Praetorians stood with Maxentius. They fought at the Pons Milvius, the Milvian Bridge. The battle was brutal. The Tiber ran red, and Maxentius fell. Constantine triumphed. He entered Rome not as a conqueror, but as the executor of history. His first act, the dissolution of the Praetorian Guard. He demolished the Castra Praetoria, not only in symbol, but stone by stone. The remnants were scattered, some dismissed, some exiled to distant provinces. Others disappeared. No monument was raised to them, no honor endured, only a whisper in the chronicles that the mightiest guard in the world was broken by its own corruption. For power, once unchained, is sooner or later disarmed by history itself. They came as guardians. They served the emperor, and then believed the emperor served them. They swore loyalty. They kept watch. They marched in gold and silence. But those who linger in power too long confuse duty with privilege and service with entitlement. The Praetorians were the mirror of Rome, disciplined, proud, clever, but also vain, corrupt, and dangerous. They stood beside the thrones until they claimed the right to choose who would sit upon them. Their end was not sudden. It crept, silently, with every oath betrayed, with every bribe accepted, with every whisper in the shadows. When the Castra Praetoria fell, Rome did not cease to breathe, but part of its soul grew silent. Today, only broken walls and written pages remain, to remind us of these men and what they once represented. To understand them is to understand more than history. It is to see what happens when protection turns to power, and power turns to peril. For in the heart of Rome, where swords once whispered, now speaks only the echo.